Itch.io is a popular site for hosting and purchasing indie games and software of all kind, and recently they've done something really incredible. They've put up on the store a bundle for racial justice and equality, a bundle of over 1,400 items for a minimum payment of just $5. The bundle includes popular and critically acclaimed indie games such as Night in the Woods and Celeste, those two alone making $5 for the bundle an absolute steal, but there's also 1,400 other things. The amount of content for money here is astounding, and the bundle isn't just limited to video games. It also includes asset packs for game creators such as tile sets and 3D models, PDFs for tabletop games and software of different kinds, ranging from tabletop RPG map makers to project management and organizational helpers. And all proceeds from this bundle are being donated to NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund and Community Bail Fund. It's an excellent way to support the Black community in these times, and also just get an absurd amount of content to enjoy in your excessive free time you certainly have during quarantine. The sale ends around midnight on the night of June 15th, so depending on when I manage to get this video up, that may be in a few days, it may be tomorrow, it may have passed a year ago, who knows. I am really bad at uploading when I want to, but if it's still available as you watch this, please do consider purchasing it. It's a wonderful idea. And please also consider donating to the previously mentioned funds, as well as other charities working to aid the Black community. And be on the lookout for petitions to sign, call your local representatives and demand change. I'm sure you've heard all of this already, but please, it is very important for us to band together as a community right now and finally make some damn change happen. All relevant links will be in the description below. Now, seeing as the bundle is so massive, it's easy to just get completely lost in it. I mean, it is truly staggering the amount of content here. So I thought it would be a fun exercise to scroll through the bundle, pick some interesting looking titles, and just try them out. See if we could find some hidden gems in this ocean of software. So that's what I did. I managed to get through the first 10 or so pages of the 50 plus containing all software in the bundle before I was completely overwhelmed by the amount of games I had collected for this video. So there's plenty more to get through. If you want to see more of this content, make sure to just absolutely beat the living shit out of the like button, leave a comment, go kiss a baby on the forehead, all of that call to action bullshit. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Start exploring. This game is mesmerizing. It involves you, a cute little bird, wandering through a nature-filled island, complete with beaches, forests, waterfalls, mountains, just having a good time. Your ultimate goal is a hike up the tallest mountain around, but how you get there, when you get there, it's all totally up to you. For some reason, my first instinct was to just run into the water and go absolutely apeshit. I have no idea why, but this was rewarded with a neat place to explore, some coins, a cool stick I can swing around now. And that's where this game excels. Your exploration is always rewarded, and your curiosity is always encouraged. No matter where you go, there is something to find, a new place to explore, new items to find that will help you explore even more and find even more. It's all wrapped up in this charming little bow of excellently crafted aesthetic as well. I mean, just look at it. It's very pleasing. The island is also populated by a cast of characters ranging from calming and comforting to eccentric and hilarious, meaning that when you're tired of climbing up mountains in quiet solitude, you can take a break and hang out with some local kids playing ball hit stick. This game is so fucking hype. The game is loaded with charm, meaning no moment is dull, no opportunity to impress is missed. I found myself smiling with delight when playing the ball minigame when I found out that due to the game being refereed by a literal child, sometimes they will bicker about the accuracy of your score and just randomly give you more or less than you actually got. That kind of detail and quirkiness is what makes this game such a treat. I don't have a lot of time to spend with each game due to the nature of this video, the quantity of content I have to get through, but I found myself getting lost and spending way more time with this than I intended. It truly captures the calming, serene feeling of a short hike. A charming FPS Metroidvania, ultimately held back by some rough-around-the-edges design choices. Saying Metroidvania is a surefire way to get me immediately interested in a game. It's one of my favorite subgenres, and Symphony of the Night, the game that arguably started the genre, is in my top 3 games of all time, easily. So yes, I have a soft spot for this.
Die, monster!
Beware delivers on the core draw of the genre, exploration based around gaining upgrades and new weapons and tools for your arsenal, but it falls a bit short on some of the delivery. The enemies end up a bit samey. I encountered 4 different enemies in my short playtime, and 3 out of the 4 just floated slowly at me as their attack. I also found it difficult to get into the story, being delivered entirely through written logs from otherwise unseen characters. The writing was a bit clunky and filled with too much sci-fi jargon to suck me in, but if you're deep into classic sci-fi, this will probably be right up your alley. Another issue for me was the UI, which is way too small. I mean, that's my health bar. I had to move my head around my microphone just to see the tiny dots in the top of the screen during boss fights. Speaking of, boss fights were pretty lackluster as well. The 2 bosses I fought all had only 1 attack, and they repeated that until death. It would have been nice to see some variety in their moves to spice up the combat. On the positives though, I really do like the art style. The environments are super interesting as well. In particular, this place struck me as very fun to look at. Perhaps I'm just a sucker for odd, uncomfortable expanses of nothingness in games. I mean, the Nameless King's Arena in Dark Souls 3 is one of my favorites in the series after all. But at its core, this game is a very solid Metroidvania I could see myself sinking into if only it weren't for the more obtuse ends surrounding its rock-hard base. An absolutely bizarre experimental drawing game. It's best just to show you snippets of my experience. Oh. Oh? I don't know, where's my spot on campus? Oh my god. I don't know how to get back. Okay, that's fine. It's fine, I'll figure out the controls on my own. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Okay, I'm gonna draw that. Well, here we go. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, fuck, I'm so bad at art. Mwah. Bellissimo. Ah, shit, I don't know where to go and I walk so slow. Oh? Thick brush. The UI is clunky. I wish I could, like... I guess I can just put them down here. I wish there's a way to kind of close them, though. Here I go. Oh, I just die. That's generous. That's... Draw a toy you remember. Toy I remember. A toy I remember. Oh, fuck. Wait, where am I? Oh, shit. Wait, fuck. Well, shit, dude. There's a spot to draw a toy. It's here. Let's do it. Let's draw this toy. That's my Bionicle. I'm now going to die. I mean, there it is. It's pretty good, right? Oh, that color is so choice. But the composition sucks. Which is fair. Draw one of the massive, extremely expensive Okay. Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, here's one. Fucking perfecto. Here we go. No, fuck. Just let me die. How do I get bigger than a C? These lines are so huge. How do I do better than a C? Knock something over on campus. Document your result. Knock something over. Bonk. Nope. Pretty sturdy. What about you? Do you knock over? Nope. Pretty sturdy. I think all of these are pretty darn Whoa, okay, hold on. Oh my god, this changes everything. Ooh, that trash can. It's gotta be knockoverable, right? Is there like a knockover button? Well, you, I bet I can knock you over. Oh shit, oh my god, wait, fuck. It's really hard to talk about this one. It is a purely experience-based ordeal, but overall, it's a great idea, and it's executed beautifully. An 80s-inspired survival horror game, Babysitter Bloodbath fully commits to its aesthetic. From the menu being a VHS cover to the default VHS static and movie camera setup similar to the original Resident Evil, the similarities don't stop there, as the game also has tank controls much like Resident Evil, and heavily emphasizes inventory management and collecting items around the house to survive and solve puzzles with. The aesthetic is somewhat undercut by the cheap-looking models, but that's also compensated by how clearly the game doesn't take itself too seriously. It let me spin around during the cutscene, and I love that. There I go! Biggest issues with the game are technical ones. The game crashed on me when I tried lowering the volume through my system. It glitched up the text in the opening cutscene, and then just completely fucked shit when I opened this fridge. Unfortunately, it was time for me to move on to the next game, and I hadn't even encountered the antagonist yet, but I could see this game being a lot of campy fun for fans of the genre, or just 80s slasher flicks in general. An absolutely stunning isometric shooter. I can't express how much I love this game. This is absolutely one I'm going to continue playing for sure. It's fast-paced, challenging, smooth, fun. It has a completely unique stat system using DNA pickups and equips that was just really fascinating to me. Every DNA strand you pick up has different positive and negative stat effects. They can mutate. Each one has a different chance of mutating. There is so much depth that this system adds, and I've never seen anything quite like it in a game like this. The style is super slick, the sounds are all super weighty, the atmosphere is perfect, the exploration is pretty simple, but it's still engaging. The equipment variety is vast, they're all fun to use. There are so many combinations of special equipment, DNA, upgrades, weapons. You can adapt this game to whatever playstyle you like. It's an absolute treat. Please check this one out. Boa Retina is a short experimental narrative experience dealing with transphobia, self-acceptance, and the desire for acceptance from family and society. It's told beautifully, uniquely, hauntingly. This is one of those important first-hand narratives I encourage you to try for yourself. There's not much I can really say about it without spoiling large parts of it that are all better seen for yourself, but it deals in emotions I'm sure ring heartbreakingly true for many members of the trans community. Please give this a try if that at all sounds interesting to you. Just be aware it deals with heavy subject matter. A unique block-breaking game that operates, it's sort of, like this. The paddle is made of blocks as well, and you can collect the falling blocks to build onto your paddle. The ball can also hit the falling blocks and really just break your fucking ankles. You don't lose by dropping the ball, but rather by fully breaking your paddle. It's a totally unique take on a simple genre. It feels really fun and fresh in an arcadey kind of way. Also, the soundtrack is a collection of fucking bangers. Not sure if there's more to this game. I only had time for the first level because I suck at it, but from what I saw, it's really neat. Okay.
Hey folks, this is Don Whitaker. I made Crash Lander and I'm going to show you how to play real quick. Let's start off with some of these pad hopper levels.
Huh? What?
It's kind of a janky little thing made out of spare parts and
there's no image.
Tanks. And it's not very sturdy either if you start the level.
What is happening? What the fuck? I'm just trying to eat banana bread. This dude's talking the music change. Why is it set to hard mode now? What's pad hopper? Let's try pad hopper. Wait, is it not gonna let me? Oh. I can't figure that out. Let's try World 2. Let's just jump into World 2. Where's the game? There's no game. What's happening? A very charming game of the card choice, swipe left and right genre. I don't actually know what they're called. I've played a few on my phone before. You make binary choices as the President of the United States to try and maintain your power in government while also managing budget issues, power to the working class, and greenhouse gas emissions in an attempt to successfully implement democratic socialist policies without going bankrupt or killing the planet. There's a lot of replay value in this one. For my playthrough, I decided to just play based on my own beliefs. It turned out great. I think I'd make a fucking great president, guys. The style is very slick and clean. The music slaps. Overall, it's a very neat package. I can see myself playing this a few more times. This is a horror platformer with fourth wall breaking scares a la Doki Doki Literature Club. Creative gameplay, effective scares, and like DDLC, best experience blind, so I'll keep this brief. Honestly, the most impressive part for me was the platforming. The controls are super tight, and jumping felt really good. The game moves crazy fast, giving you this constant feeling like when you know a Mario level really well and you can just sprint through the whole thing. There's a lot of creative and fun things going on, and as my 50-minute video on DDLC will tell you, I love shit like this. Try it out if you aren't too bad with scary things, just be warned, there are jump scares. Okay. I don't know if this is gameplay or not. See, the cool part is I downloaded, like I scanned through and downloaded all these like 2 days ago. So I actually don't remember any of them. Like I genuinely don't have a clue what any of these are. What is that? I don't understand what is happening. I don't get what... Okay. Oh. It's been almost 6 minutes, which is fine. This is all very cool and pretty and nice to look at. It's just like I have 400 other games to get through, and I really can't spend a lot of time on all of them, and slow things like this don't lend well to that. That's okay. Game now? Game now, please. Oh, please, game now. Oh, looks like we're approaching game. Oh, I'm just gonna eat some Skittles and chill, I guess. Oh my god, is this a game? Nope. Nope, it's not a game yet. Do I have to click something? Is there like something I have to... No, there isn't. If there's no game by minute 9 of recording, I'm gonna have to pull the plug. Move on to the next one. Still intro. Still intro, and we're 9 minutes in. An interesting action strategy game where you attack the enemy using essentially a streamlined, visualized form of coding. You program your bots to perform different functions in different circumstances and try to win. Not really my kind of game, but I can definitely see how someone could find this super cool. An interesting little art piece game where you control a little man as he attempts to climb a towering structure. The game has a unique mechanic where you can effectively climb up any wall on a slant, making for some very interesting improvisational hikes up pieces of structure. You never quite feel like you're going up the way you should, and it's kind of great like that. It really makes you feel like you're carving your own path. There's also a mechanic where you die if you stand in the sun for too long, meaning you always have to take into account the structure's geometry and the shade that it's casting. All the while, this mysterious glow and shapes, including a flying whale, tower above you, just beckoning you upward. It is an atmospheric experience for sure. I do wish I could see what the fuck is going on with that whale, but sadly my time with each game is short. A game I didn't know when starting was published by Devolver Studios, a studio with a fantastic track record for indie games. And this was no different. It's a visually engaging roguelike FPS with its core mechanic revolving around your revolver. Ammo is super scarce and largely needs to be picked up again after firing, but most enemies die in one hit, putting a very heavy emphasis on accurate aiming and smart positioning to avoid retaliation damage. Coupled with other fun mechanics like randomly placed bank machines allowing you to save money to withdraw on another run, and you have a very replayable, very fun roguelite. I fucking love me a roguelite. A pretty in-depth ecosystem simulator where you attempt to maintain and develop an ecosystem entirely under your control. Not really my kind of game, so I didn't spend much time with it, but overall it seemed fine. The aesthetic's a bit dry for me and it lacked charm, but the core gameplay was streamlined and easy enough for even a small brain like me to understand, so I mean that's gotta be good. Less of a game and more of an interactive art piece, you explore short vignettes by rotating the camera and occasionally clicking on items to progress. Not much to say specifically, as it's all kind of experimental and loose, leaving much up to individual experience and interpretation. Just sort of check it out if what you're seeing right now looks interesting to you at all. Another interactive art piece. Kids touched me more than I anticipate. I can't fucking say that. It portrays a very loose narrative in a minimalistic style with a surprising amount of player input to keep you engaged. The music, the visuals, it all adds together to something very special for me. Try it yourself. See what you make of it. Another interactive art piece. Kingdom Ka functions a lot like a point-and-click adventure game and sports, as you can see, a very unique visual style. I didn't get to play it long enough to get a solid grasp on the story or themes, but it does have some stellar music and neat imagery. That's about all I got for this one, though. An adventure game similar to the original Zelda, and another little treat from Devolver Studios. The catch here is every 60 seconds, you fucking die. You get to keep the items you collected, some progress is maintained, but otherwise it's like being stuck in a short span of a time loop. This means that no matter what you're doing, you are on the clock, and you have to time every single action carefully lest you run out of time mid-adventure. This one creative decision is the core gameplay of Minit, and it works very well. You always feel just a bit too pressured for time, and that makes every second feel super exhilarating. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I didn't fucking understand this one. I went in blind for all of these games, and that may have been a mistake with this one specifically. It is very cryptic and does not explain itself at all. There is virtually no text, just a bunch of different buttons and sliders and dials, some sort of vaporwave shit going on in the middle, and you go at it. It fucking throws you in. There's some sort of guiding hand I picked up on eventually, but at a certain point, it just got too cryptic to follow, and I couldn't actually get a solid grasp on what the hell anything was. From my understanding, it's a game revolving around an abstract landscape you scan and maneuver through using these controls all over the screen, and you're attempting to find something. Probably. The only thing I managed to do was find a new color, so I don't know. If this looks fun, give it a shot. But if you put a gun to my head and asked me if I liked it or not, I'd tell you to fucking shoot me. A very bizarre, entertaining horror shelf-stalking game, poking fun at the absurdities of working retail. As someone who has worked retail, the humor works well for me, and it's all aided by how everything stylistically gels together. It's all very ugly, from the visuals to the music, but in a charming way that adds to the humor. The core gameplay involves you stocking shelves around the store while avoiding customers. It's simple, effective, fun, and at times it genuinely scared the shit out of me. It's a quirky little romp. Another bizarre farce of minimum wage slavery, No Delivery is an RPG Maker game with a lot of character to it. It functions somewhat like a roguelite in that every time you die, you randomly roll a new character with your items, money, progress all being ported over. You make slow, incremental progress through your night shifts at a shit show pizza joint overrun with nasties and ghoulies. The atmosphere is super thick, which makes up for the very basic core gameplay of standard RPG Maker turn-based combat. The game shines when exploring the mysteries of this pizza hell and starts to fall apart with combat encounters. A very basic FPS high score game with a lo-fi old arcade aesthetic. The gameplay is very simple. Run, shoot, don't die. Perhaps there's more to the game, but that's all I had the time to explore. It all functions fine. I mean, you sure do shoot, and boy howdy can you run. The open level design was pretty neat. I like jumping out of windows to skip large portions of the level. Not much else to say, though. A collection of small mini-games all done in a similar pixel art style. They strangely enough run through your web browser, and you have to do well enough in one game to unlock the next one. Some of them are a bit fun, others are cryptic and hard to understand. It's a real mixed bag here, but fun if you're into these small micro-game time killers akin to the Google Chrome dinosaur game. Similar to the previous game Islands, in which you interact with little vignettes, however, it's also very, very different. It's a meditative little game, best akin to having one of those little stone gardens. You gently explore small nature spaces, being able to move rocks and such around, and mine out these little gems, which you can then use to place items of your choosing into the scene, such as trees or stones. It's a calming little experience for sure. I struggled with this one at first. It's a platform fighter akin to Smash, but it is very fast and very chaotic. Key aspects of it include an adaptive soundtrack of freeform jazz that reacts to the gameplay, a destructible environment, and just the absurd amount of fighters you can have in a single game. There is a bit too much chaos for this to be actually competitive, and the core fighting mechanics are super simple, but it's really more for the spectacle than anything else, and it delivers on that. A game designed to make you uncomfortable. There is no gameplay other than walking. You simply walk around these disturbing little sections, attempting to find these hearts to offer a big pool of blood. It sounds like a good time, right? The entire point of this game is to create a feeling in the player, a feeling of unease, of discomfort. The walls move with you, the music is droning, the world bleak and grotesque, everything unusual, bizarre. It's like simulating a fever dream, and it works really well to that end. It's not overly scary, but rather subtly nerve-wracking, and I ate that shit up. A story-based game simulating an old OS from the 90s as you chat with friends, explore fan pages for made-up Sailor Moon-esque anime, and click this little cat that goes meow. The amount of detail here is staggering, from the fully written portions of fanfiction you can find on the hard drive to multiple emails you can read through, small mini-games based on old dress-up games and Tamagotchi. There is so much love poured into this. The aesthetic is spot on for the time, as is all of the dialogue. It all feels really natural and organic, sometimes for the worse due to how poorly certain ways of speaking have dated. A lot of I made you a cookie but I eated it type shit, but that's not a negative. It really does an excellent job of capturing the intended time of the late to mid 90s or so. I had a blast with this one. Give it a shot if this is activating even the slightest sense of nostalgia in you. A super interesting fighting game with a large cast of unique characters. Every character has only one attack, and they all function wildly differently from each other. This creates a totally unique metagame revolving around your slime, your opponent's slime, and your respective win conditions. For example, the basic dash slime simply needs to dash into you to kill you, making standing behind or in front of him very dangerous. The rock slime needs to come from above the opponent and drop down onto them to kill them, forcing you to always be aware of their horizontal placement. Put these two together, and now you have a simple but deep game of footsies going on. It's similar in that regard to Dive Kick, stripped down, leaving only the absolute necessities intact while creating its own unique gameplay. There are so many different slimes with so many different playstyles, different maps, modes, rule sets. You could play this for hours and not get a game that feels exactly the same. It's a very fun party game, and also strangely a unique and fun way to learn some basic fighting game tech. A thrilling little shmup with a lot of tricks up its sleeve. And man, do I love me a shmup, even if I do suck at them. Surrounding a solid classic shmup core is the unique HP and power mechanics. Kill something, gain power. Lose HP, lose power. Want to regain HP, just stop shooting, it'll start to regen. Those simple additions make this game something really special. You're constantly making decisions based around those concepts, whether it be switching into bullet hell mode for a while in an attempt to regain your HP, or making the decision to take a power upgrade over an HP upgrade to compensate for power lost from a hit earlier right before a boss battle. It's a totally unique flow that I absolutely adored. Also, the music is fucking incredible. A fascinating puzzle game in which you play a software operator tasked with entering the dreams of a simulated AI to decontaminate it. You explore strange areas and solve puzzles to collect codes that allow you to progress and decontaminate the AI. But the separate AI that guides you through this process seems to be getting more and more corrupted as you go on. Visual glitches, strange statements. The game builds an unnerving atmosphere through excellent use of visual storytelling and clever writing, and interacting with the world and puzzles is both challenging and fun. The true shine of the game is in how it presents itself, though, through visual glitches, simulating the AI corrupting, the ability to type into a command console to speak with the AI about the world the story takes place in, as well as the AI itself and its personality. The writing is funny and clever, endearing you to the AI as you watch it both fall and discover more about itself. Definitely play this one yourself if you want to know more about this little enigma of a game. Oh? Fuck. Why does holding space make birds appear? Maybe they're like a strange form of waypoint? Oh, they just kind of do what they want. Okay, here I go. Hey, this kind of sucks. I'm like so fucking slow. Is there something I'm not understanding? Oh my god, even the menu is slow. Sources? Wait, what? That's just a tree. I don't understand. Wait, that's... I can't leave this menu now. I'm like stuck in this. Ah, man. Oh, fucking... Can I just... Alright, fine. I'll go back to the game. I'm sorry for being impatient. Give me the game back. I never thought I'd want that back. I can't... There's... Literally, I'm stuck. Okay. That's it. A lightweight crafting ecosystem management game. You attempt to care for and design a working ecosystem while collecting materials and crafting tools. Personally, the compact nature of the game makes it feel like it was designed for phones. I wouldn't be surprised if this is an app ported to PC, but it does make for a claustrophobic and clunky UI. Navigating menus is cumbersome and confusing, and the art style really doesn't do much for me. It is not my type of game at all, but hey, maybe it's yours. wingsuit simulator. It simulates flying with a wingsuit. I mean, there is a cool amount of customization in it for sure, and it looks really pretty. Pretty sure it was intended for VR, and that would be awesome for those that have it. But I have no interest in simulation games or wingsuits or base jumping. I don't remember why I downloaded this one. Crashing is fun though. A strategy and management game told entirely through text as you explore the stars and face challenges along the way. The game is full of interesting, well-written flavor text, and the procedurally generated content means infinite replayability. It's very similar to FTL without the combat system. It's not really my type of game. I'm usually very bad at them, and I have a small pea-brain attention span when reading, but this one does have an oddly optimistic charm to it that you usually don't see in these kinds of games. You can choose to just explore worlds, learning from their cultures, trying to make yourself in the universe better, and the game system rewards you for this. You can play the entire game without being tempted to murder, steal, or kill. It's refreshing to have such a lighthearted option in a sci-fi game like this. I just wanted to explore the stars and settle down on a quaint planet. That's what I did. Hell yeah. As you can see, the amount and variety of content in this bundle is staggering. Remember, those were just the games I thought looked interesting from the first 10 pages of the bundle, and they're still adding more games. I barely even scratched the surface. Who knows what treasures I missed in this, but I hope with this, you're a little less intimidated by the sheer quantity you may be faced with debating whether to purchase the bundle or not, and you've hopefully seen something that looks interesting to you personally, whether the bundle is going on or not, something you'd want to pick up. I tried to get a variety of games and experiences, so there should be something for everyone. And I went in completely blind, so yeah, some of them are kind of meh for me, but they could be treasures for someone else, and that's what I'm hoping for. Personally, I want to highlight Beacon, A Short Hike, and Kids, all for different reasons. Beacon is the exact kind of game that I love and could sink hours and hours into. It is a blast to play, and I look forward to experimenting with loadouts to see how drastically I can shape the game to my whims. A Short Hike is a relaxing and serene experience I am definitely going to return to in order to wind down after long days. Exploring the island, slowly making progress, and just gliding around put me in such a calm trance. And Kids is a fantastic art piece, told in an engaging and wholly unique way, taking full advantage of the interactive nature of video games. These 3 games alone are complete standouts, and are worth the price of admission, no doubt for me. But they also demonstrate just the amount of variety in this pack, and in the gaming world as a whole, really. Like any medium, there is something for everyone here, and it supports a great cause. If it's still available, please consider purchasing this, and whether it is or not, consider donating to the organizations listed below or any others I'm sure you've discovered through social media activism and other avenues of such. Remember to support Black artists, keep the momentum going, and don't stop until we see some change. Thank you, and take care.